Drew with his Captain Planet. Oh my God, man.
Yeah. I was like, I got to come on and show it, man.
Drew, you are a super fan, man. How have you been doing today?
Oh, man, it's been good, man. How about you? Valentine's Day good?
I'm spending with the people I love right here in the chat, dealing with union issues and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I apologize for not being on earlier, guys. My son wanted to watch Army of Darkness, so we were
What
doing
the
that.
wait, hey, that's a very mature thing for him to watch. Army of Darkness with like Evil Dead, like that Army of Darkness?
Yeah, that's the one. But the Army of Darkness is nice. It's funny.
It's
more,
funny. It's a horror comedy. I know, but still, did you let him watch the original Evil Dead? Like
no.
No.
We will not be doing that. I will not get blamed for that. He wanted to watch that, and I was like, okay, yeah, we could do that.
Okay, so
he asked for Evil Dead. The original was like, what about the? I said, no.
He got to be like 18, maybe 16. I'm
gonna say 18 on that one.
Oh, Mama said 18.
I'm not getting blamed.
Guys, if you don't know, Evil Dead, like a tree branch grapes a woman. It like grabs her, she's stretched out, and then it just be like, whoosh, and then she get possessed and shit. It's really trippy. It's really trippy.
Yeah, I had to get on and do that with him for a little bit and get him situated before I could check out everything.
Okay.
But I didn't want to stay on here. I know you got to get to bed and stuff like that. But I just wanted to say hey and show you the gear.
Well, shit, now you up here, I got some questions for you because apparently your opinions are weighted heavily in the Power Ranger community.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, I don't know if you saw, but you got reposted in the Power Rangers Facebook group for talking about the scammers of the Order movie. That never
really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay, on a Facebook group. Wow.
Yeah. So with that being said, what do you think about Austin St. John and his 3 black belts by the age of 18?
Okay, because I'm a martial artist, and unless he went and paid somebody to basically give him that many black belts by 18, because the way I've heard that story before, because he's like, oh, I mastered and got 3 black belts by the time I was 18. I'm like, from who?
I don't know.
Who would sign off on that? I could give you one, maybe, if you're talking like you train consecutively for a certain age, they might do that. But a lot of people, especially the guys that I knew, they like to base it on not so much a time thing, but a maturity thing. And so I don't know if he ended up with 3 of those things. I would say no. In my martial art opinion,
no.
And I've been going since the 90s. No way. There's no way people would hand him 3 black belts like that by the time he's 18. You know what? What he's trying to do is he's trying to show, like, because he got on the show when he was 17, right? Almost 18. So what I think is he's trying to show, like, by the 18th year, look at me, I'm already mastering things as soon as I come on the show, kind of a thing like that.
Get your money up.
And I'm like, it's all a show, guys, for Austin. It's always been a show for him. He's never going to change. He's going to, he likes to one-up people. Remember JDF said that. He said that. He said he likes to one-up people. So he's that guy. It's like, oh, I've broken a brick before. He's like, well, I've broken 5 bricks with my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember JDF was like, no, you haven't. No, you haven't.
Yeah, he's like, and what he told me is like, hey, well, I got one. I got some right here. Show us what you could do. And he was like, no, I can't do that. He's that guy. So I wouldn't believe anything Austin says. He's had zero credit the entire time. He's always making up stories. He's always trying to one up somebody. There might be some truth to some story, but he'll like expand it this much. And then there'll be some science fiction in it, He'll be like,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, he'll be like this. I walked outside my door. That's the truth. And he'll be like, when I went outside my door, there were 2 aliens that looked like putties, and they stole somebody's purse. So then I had to fight them, and the police showed up, and we're like, wow, we didn't know that extraterrestrials show up in your neighborhood. Can we have an autograph? And he'd be like, oh, sure. Don't mind if I do. I'll even sign the shirt of the guy I beat up, he's that guy. So he'll take ridiculous stuff and start making up all these stories. And then his fan base is so blind that they just let him do it. I mean, they still think that he's jacked like he was back in the day. They still think that's him. They just think that that's footage that's still going today. But that's like, no, that was back then on a TV show. Like, that's not now.
This is true. This is true.
That's not him. And I hope that they all pinch their pennies together, because when he goes to federal prison,
holy shit,
he's gonna. It won't be Red Ranger, Tyrannosaurus power. It'll be, I gotta say, it'll be soap on a rope power by that. I hope he's ready.
Holy shit! Yeah. I mean,
I think straws out of like they did in House Party.
Oh my,
it's not gonna be good.
I think if he goes to jail, it's I think he may get like 2 years. I don't think they're gonna throw the whole book at him or anything.
Hey, they gave Wesley Snipes about good 4 to 6.
Well, they did that because
look at my African American.
He black.
I know the inside to that story, by the way, about Wesley Snipes.
I heard that his accountants took all the money and then they just left him with the bill.
What happened was he was able to pay, and that was good. His legal representation is what put him in jail, because his lawyer, he hired this guy that he was cool with that was a lawyer, and he listened to everything the guy had to say, and the guy was not representing him correctly. And I know somebody that was actually there. That's how I know.
Like Drew, man, we gonna have to like really go in on this Drew.
I'm gonna throw you a hit, Henry, just for you. He was a TV judge, and I'll leave it there.
Oh, Judge Mathis.
No. Before him, the one before.
Oh, Judge Joe Brown.
Shh.
Yo, Joe Brown, he out there now. He
you know what? He's gone public with this, so I can say it. But yeah, he told the story live on, because I did shows with Judge Joe Brown. I know him personally. And he told me, he said, yeah, it was his lawyer. He said, I was there. And I was telling Wesley, because I know Wesley, and he was like, I was telling him, look, don't listen to your lawyer. The judge was telling him, don't listen to your lawyer. Everybody was telling him. The IRS was saying he's digging you a further hole, and he just kept going with it. So that they were just like, all right, well, we got to sentence you, and thank you for the money. That's what happened. And so he did more time because he didn't listen. That's what happened to Wesley. So after that, it comes, yeah, man. If you ever want him, I'd have to work it out with him. He's super busy, but if you ever want Judge Joe Brown on your show, I could probably work that out.
Hell no, you trip. What?
Dude, his number's on my phone. I can call him anytime. We text all the time, man. I've been on his live show with Dana with the Data, man.
Dana with the
Yeah,
I used to listen to Star.
Yeah.
If you know Dana with the Data, then you know Star.
Yeah.
You know Troy Terrain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Troll babies. What's going on? And that shit. Wow, Drew, man, we got a lot.
Yeah, I was just on the show on Sunday. This Sunday, I was on with Dana. Yeah.
Oh wow!
If you watch the episode on Sunday, I'm on there. Yeah, I did a show with her. So yeah, man, it's like I could talk to him. Yeah, no problem.
Angel Pest says Kim Jong Austin wants his followers to believe his myths, like Kim Jong Un. People are starving. Shout out to Angel Pest for the donation.
No, it's 100% true, because he's the guy that's always made up stories, and his fans have always backed it. They've always backed it. And I sent you that video where he's talking about the B grip. The girl that's with him, she's like looking at him like the dude's like been a Navy SEAL for like 20 years. She's like, okay, can you show me some moves and some holds? And he's like, oh yeah, I got you covered. You saw the video? He's like standing there doing it. See, the funny thing,
I said we will go through. Like, I want to save some for your stream.
Sure.
Like I've saved the Austin St. John chair stuff, the stuff that you've exclusively sent me that no one else has. I'm trying to save all that for your stream, so we gonna have
save all of it. I'm not gonna.
A good time, and it's gonna be great, guys. I got it all planned out.
What do you guys want me to wear for that show? You know,
it's next Friday, the 23rd. The 23rd. I won't have my daughter.
Let me know what you guys want me to wear. You know, like I can go Silver Ranger from In Space. I can do. I've got every Arnold, Stallone, Van Damme shirt you can think of. Like whatever you guys want me to put on.
Look, all right. So we talked about that. What do you think about the whole Susan Matassi slamming JDF when Austin St. John came back?
She had already gotten her hands on that Jim Jones, Austin St. John Kool-Aid, and that's what happened. She had already sided with Austin from the get-go. See, that's what when you get people, when Austin comes up and other people come up and want to slam JDF, it's because they're siding with Austin from the get-go. They're already a part of his team. He's already bought and sold them, you know?
Okay.
That's the whole thing about her, is that she decided to go on and do that to make a statement, obviously, to basically put clout on JDF in the name of Austin St. John, because that's what he does. He likes to get people. If you look at it, he likes to get people and build that up. That's his whole gimmick, you know, is like he likes to get people, build them up, and then do his dirty work for him, you know, just go out and keep that stuff going. You know, he doesn't tell people, oh, don't talk about JDF anymore, especially since he passed away, out of respect for his wife and daughter. Has he ever said that?
Oh, hell no. He's still with Zach Taylor McGinnis, even after he said he was happy JDF killed himself. Like,
see, that's it. He does not stop, and he's never told fans. And the other thing was, what about the shooter at Phoenix?
Oh,
remember the overweight guy?
Yeah.
That tried to kill JDF.
Yeah.
Right?
Did Austin St. John
go public and say, hey guys, this is bad. You know, people shouldn't do this. You know, me and JDF don't get along, but it's not right. Did he say anything like that?
Oh shit. This is true.
See, he just let it slide. He let it slide. In the name of everything right, he didn't stand up and be a righteous guy. So the whole talk of him being a warrior and, oh, I'm silent and all that stuff like that. Yeah, you were definitely silent when you needed to speak up and say something about that, about conventions and how people should not do that and that sort of thing. He didn't say a thing. JDF said plenty. He said nothing. Yeah. See, that's the problem. Austin is on his own flow, his own planet, his own channel, his own thing. And he'll just get people that want to believe him, and he'll put them out there and get them to do his bidding, and he just keeps it going. That's been the problem.
Like a cult leader in some regards.
That's the best way to explain it. You know, he is the like a little David Koresh or something like that.
David Koresh. Oh my God. Look, when I was in high school, we had to study David Koresh or whatever.
Really?
And his followers or whatever. And the whole the shoot off with the cops and all that good stuff. Crazy story.
Oh yeah.
In Texas, like they'd have made so many movies about it, and you know he was dealing little girls and you know spreading his seed around and all that good shit. But
have you heard of the Ruby Ridge incident that happened in Texas?
No,
Ruby Ridge.
What about
it?
Ruby
Was
Ridge?
Before David Koresh, where the FBI had flooded a guy's house that didn't want to work for him and killed his wife and his son. Because of a deal that he didn't want to do with the FBI. So they asked him to basically work for him and he said no. And then they invaded his property and it was a big thing. It was in the late 80s when that happened. And I knew a bunch of people that were there for that event. And that was a trip.
You know, the crazy thing is my computer is listening to me because the Ruby Ridge incident in August 1992, federal FBI agents, 11-day standoff.
Yes.
With self-proclaimed, I can't say that word because they know whatchamacallit me. But she's just Drew be kicking facts. God damn, man.
Yeah.
She's
I know the guy that helped get him out and smoothed out the situation.
Oh my goodness.
That's how that happened. So, and I got to spend some time with him, and he told me about the whole mess with that. They also had him come out for the Oklahoma City bombing when that happened and report on that. So,
Drew, you cooking, you cook.
Let him cook.
How do you always come on stream and just calmly cooks? It always shocks me.
It just flows naturally, man. I've been in the game so long, and you learn a lot. You get to talk to a lot of interesting people, and it's things that you just kind of keep and remember, over the time. Because I've ran into just about some of everybody, and they've just sat down with me. And
have you ever ran into any Power Rangers outside of Comic-Con?
Outside of Comic-Con, let me think. Besides that thing at Victor Valley College with the three of them, no, I can't say I've ran into anybody like on the street.
Okay.
You know what? I ran into the guy that played Psycho Red in passing one time.
Oh God,
that's big. I think that's about as close as I've gotten to somebody like that.
Next question, Austin St. John related. What did you think about him saying that waitresses basically failed at the entrepreneurial side of business, and they're basically wasting away on the vine being a waitress in LA?
Just waitresses in general?
Yeah, he said waitresses, every now and then TMZ will come out with an article of some big former actor, and they're waiting tables, and they have lost their way on the entrepreneurial side and wasting away on the vine, which is like the grapevine.
Okay.
Because in regards to Twee being a waitress after, she left the show.
It's kind of weird because here's the thing. We've all heard stories about people that have done what we would think or perceive as being something big. And then later on, maybe within that year, they're working at a consulting firm. They're being a waiter or waitress, because sometimes things just don't work out. People make wrong decisions. Are you a fan of the movie Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon?
Like
Shonuff. And Leroy.
Who's the Kiss My Converse?
Yes. This is going to tie in perfectly. Cool. You know who he is. So the guy that played Leroy is a guy named Timuk Gorello.
Yeah, he looks good for his age. He's still fit in everything.
Have you ever heard of Viking Samurai?
Nah.
Okay, if you ever look up martial arts and Viking Samurai, he's going to be doing a professional fight. He's a good friend of mine. He just met Timuk, so he got to hang out with him. And the thing about Timok was, like, when he did The Last Dragon, we all remember the movie, right? But what did he do after?
I think
everybody's like, yeah, we didn't. He had a good look. He was tall. We didn't see. What happened was he had done a contract with Barry Gordy. And when negotiations came up to do the sequel to The Last Dragon and other movies, the money that they offered, he had talked to his lawyer and he thought about it. And they said the money's not good enough. So once he turned down the contract, Barry Gordy communicated from him, blacklisted him, and nobody in Hollywood did a movie for him after that. And so you see him, and I mean, he's doing his thing and stuff, but you better believe at the beginning of that he was not doing so hot, because he had walked away from that contract. So out went future money and everything because of his decision. And he's one of many tragic stories, where people negotiate for a contract. They don't like what they see. They talk to mom and dad. Mom and dad say, no, don't take the money. They don't take it. But what comes with that is you don't get the contract you want. And also, you're cut out of the Hollywood group, and that happens. People don't realize how quickly that can happen. That can happen overnight. Yeah. All you have to do is make one decision move that somebody doesn't like. And if that somebody is in control and power of that, then that's it for you, and that's what happens. Some people, they hang in there, they do the small money, they built themselves up, people remember that, and then give them a big opportunity.
Yeah,
That's kind of
Jason
how
David
that
Frank.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
How
as
he did it is how that works. You know, is like you do the small money, the smaller projects, you stay in the game, people remember you, get to know you, like working with you, and that opens a door to an opportunity in the future or the next day. It could be that quick. But if you completely outcast yourself, that's something that's never forgotten. How many people have outcasted themselves and have a return story? Nobody. When you outcast yourself in Hollywood, entertainment, music, whatever, once you outcast yourself, you're done. Nobody will touch you. And the word gets around like this. So every studio knows your story and knows who you are, and they won't let you in.
You know
Nobody
what?
will work with you.
That's a great point you made. This is probably why Walter and ASJ and not so much Twee, because she did do the Crow, but they didn't get offered any other roles.
You know what? What did it for Walter was, remember he did Space Case.
He
remember
did the
that?
Space Cases, but I heard he wanted more money, and then they ended the show because he wanted more money, and then he was offered something else, and that fell through.
He took that something else and left the show. That's what happened. So Space Cases, he was supposed to stay, and the dude jumped ship to do the other project because he thought it was going to be huge and it sound big. And he jumped ship, went over there, and then it fell through. And then Space Cases was done. Everything else he had lined up was done. And he had burned that bridge because now he looks like a deserter. So it's like, oh, if you do a project with him, he's going to get up and leave when the money gets better, or he thinks he's going to get something and he'll leave this movie or this television show. See, that's what happened. So when he did start doing little TV shows and stuff, he had to start from scratch all over again and rebuild that. And I guess he learned his lesson and he didn't do that anymore. But he thought Power Rangers equaled every door will open for me. And he did get some, and he burned that bridge. And after that, you never saw him in a lead role again, because in Space Cases, he was like the captain, right?
Yeah,
like
he was like
Kirk.
the black Captain Teenage Kirk.
Yeah, so it's like you never saw him in another lead role again after he did that. You have to think about that.
To be honest,
was like, well, he did this. He worked on The Wire. Yeah, but he wasn't the lead guy. He was always a guest appearance or kind of a small reoccurring character, and people didn't do much with him. That's why he still has to get $1,500 from JDF. So that's what happened. So when you do that, you burden yourself. Because people like that think like, oh, they don't know what they're missing. It's like, no, you don't know what you're missing because they sign your paychecks. So if you burn them, they're going to tell everybody in Hollywood from here to Canada that does production, that guy, he's a problem. And he's going to walk away and walk off your production and cost you money. That money may be $1 million that you may be missing because of how he backed you up and messed you up because you trusted and invested in him. And then now they're out of money. And the studios is going, what are we going to do and how are we going to make up this money? You see? And he put them in that hot water all the time. So, yeah, that's what happened with him. Austin didn't get that far because with his attitude and stuff, nobody's going to work with him. Nobody's going to put trust in him.
Shout out to my man Vinny with the donation. I got money. He probably in his garage talking. Vinny's a longtime listener to the show. And Francis said, Walter pulled a diva move because he was a Power Ranger. One of his co-stars said he was already getting paid more than everyone and wanted more.
Yes.
Damn. Greed.
That's the problem is like Walter had a lot more because you have to think being on Space Cases, being in a lead show when Nickelodeon was at the hottest, right? He was right there and there. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Ren and Stimpy. All that was going on. And he was at the height. And he was the lead guy. So he was pulling in good money and he was going to pull even better money, right? In time. It was coming quick. But he couldn't wait. And he thought he was worth this. And he thought he was worth that. And he thought he was worth this. And people, it gets to their heads. They think that they're worth much more. He pulled the Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's what he did. Jean-Claude, you know the story about that, right?
Why he could have been He could have
And it
been
just dropped.
so much bigger if he would have just stayed chill, ate a little bit of shit. But that blood sport went to his head. Then he got Universal Soldier money, and he thought he was some big shot action guy. When in reality, he's more like a punk in real life. But that's like one of my uncles saying.
Yeah, he was close, but he thought he asked for too much too soon. And he asked for 20 million because they gave Jim Carrey 20 million when he did Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Well, Jim Carrey was already done what he needed to do to get the 20 million. That's what they were telling him. You're not there yet.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I want 20 million like now. And they said no. And that was that.
You know, the crazy thing about Jean-Claude Van Damme, he was Jason Statham before Jason Statham was Jason Statham.
That's true.
He was in all the action movies. You know, he was a little older. He was coming around. Bloodsport was amazing. Universal Soldier. He had a couple spinoffs. You know, he was supposed to be like the next best thing, and then he just dropped. He could do the split and shit. He doing splits in every goddamn movie, taking his shirt off. He was the guy for a short period of time, but then, you know, he wanted 20 million and he's done so.
That was the thing.
Last question. What do you think about Austin St. John and the story of the guy burying the Red Ranger with his father? Do you think there's some truth to that? If you go out tomorrow, is your son going to put the Green Ranger in your casket to guide you on your spiritual journey to the afterlife?
You know what? I've heard those stories before about people claiming that or it happened. It's hard to tell because that is something that could have happened. But since it's coming from Austin,
given the source, I mean,
he's got these stories. It's hard to believe the guy because he never tells the truth. Never tells the truth.
Oh,
and he's always got like a story. You know, when you talk to him, he's like talking and then he'll be like, well, there was this time. You know, he always has that story. You know, he's like that one dude on Team America. You know, with the blueberries and the ape. You know, he's got a story, you know, some sort of tragic story, you know, about everything, you know. And so it's hard to believe because you see him, his stories don't line up and don't make sense. And then where are these people? You know, that's the question is like, okay, well, where's this guy that
Where's the guy he saved whose arm blew off and he recognized them?
He was all, you weren't you on Power Rangers? And like, yeah.
Where's the woman that got pulled out of the car at the gas station and was about to get kidnapped? Where is she at?
Yeah.
Where's she at?
She got snatched by 4 people in broad daylight in a 7-Eleven. You know, and here he comes.
Where's the police that got his autograph to say, hey, when he beat up the guys at the gas station, we showed up and got his autograph? Like, oh man.
He's got all these stories. So it's hard for me to say, like, did this guy put a Red Ranger in the casket?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You know, I don't know, you know, and that's the thing because he cuts his own credibility. So, you know, how are you going to go between you and Walter? You both have your own motives, but you're both, I don't want to say loyal, but you're more being accountable for each other to make sure everybody's stories are right, you know, kind of a relationship, you know, because those two are always together, you know, they've never been separate. So whatever decision that Austin makes, Walter is backing. I mean, if you look at your email and you're part of their little thing, they send out all those emails all the time, like together. That's what they do, you know? And really Austin is the one that's actually talking. And Walter goes, yeah, you know, he's the hype guy, you know?
Yeah. What he said.
So it's like Austin is Jabba the Hutt and then Walter's the Salacious Crumb, you know? So he's laughing after he says everything, you know, it's the same way. So, let him cook. You know, they kind of dug themselves in that hole.
Yeah, they got to ride it out together now, man.
No, and I've been meaning to ask Brent. I was like, hey, man, you still taking those hip hop keto lessons? Because it looked like they didn't work at Magic Mountain.
You know, he said he's a black belt in hep keto. On an interview.
That's what I hear. And that's what I heard.
which is a self-defense thing. And I'm like, well, where was your self-defense when they punched you in the mouth and shoved you to the ground? Where was that shit at Magic Mountain? I'm like, you know what?
That doesn't look good.
For your stream, we'll pull up the clip because they're in like Montreal Comic-Con. And he was like, yeah, I got a black belt in Hapkido and it's good. And I'm like, bro, none of that shit save you when like you at
I know
an amusement
Hapkido
park.
guys. I know Hapkido guys, and they're no joke. Those guys, like really legit Hapkido guys, they're very tough.
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing: did they not report that his lady that was with him, she had some damage?
She said,
too,
yeah,
right?
she was concussed.
See, okay, if she's concussed, that's not good. Like something happened to her.
Well, they're also suing, so you gotta hype up the injuries. Remember, his lip was busted to the point where he needed plastic surgery, but the next day I did see a picture of him smiling in the club, like with nothing, like no stitches. You expect like
somebody
stitches.
Put hands on your lady though. See, that's the thing. If that's true, it's like, okay, so they put hands on you and your lady. So both of them.
They was like,
Shut up, bitch.
So what's going on there? You know, like you got the hip hop keto and your lady's getting beat up, man. Like,
ooh, we got a great question for you, Drew. Great question for you from my man Angel Pest. And shout out to Vinny. He probably in his garage. Maybe he'll say something. Who would win in a fight, ASJ or Steven Seagal?
Okay, I'm going to say Steven Seagal, and I'm going to tell you why. He's got a lot of nonsense, but in his day, when he was a young dude, I've
hard to kill. Oh my goodness.
I've seen the actual footage of him because, see, this is what people do need to understand, and this is true. He's not making this up. He was a head martial art instructor in Japan. He had his own dojo in Japan teaching Aikido. And there's video footage of him doing it, and he was really good at it. And to be an American in Japan and be respected enough to open your own studio in a tradition like Aikido, you got to be good. Now, here's the thing about him on movies. You don't want to spar with him because for some reason he thinks it's real.
He slips it. He'll slip and hit you. I've heard that before. It's like he was tagging people for real. And it's like, yo, chill the fuck out.
I have a personal friend of mine that was his uke. And in Aikido, an uke is like your demonstration partner. When he does the flips and throws, the guy that he works with, that's your uke. And he was an uke for Steven Seagal. And he's like, dude, my back is messed up to this day. I didn't know he was going to throw me that hard like that. Because he was talking about, oh, yeah, I'm going to be soft and we're going to do this. He did something totally different and hit me real hard, and it messed up my back. He's like, I never did that again.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And this guy's like a personal friend of mine, man. Like, and this guy's a good martial artist. And when he mentioned him, he's like, yeah, don't put me with that guy again. You know, he's worked with him. He's worked with Michael Jai White. You know, not a good experience with both of them.
Really? Michael Jai White? Oh, no, man.
He did not get along with Michael Jai White.
Oh, man.
He's fought him a couple times in movies, and he was just like, no, it didn't go too good with him.
Oh,
he was like, that guy was on a whole nother thing, man, and he was not cool. He's like, I worked with Cowboy Cerrone when he left UFC and started doing movies. He was like, he was great. You know, he was like, there were some that were just really cool, you know, but he was like, he was not one of them. Like and he was a fan. So he was like excited to work with him and stuff. And it didn't go good. And that's not the first time I heard that. I know another guy that worked with him, same thing.
Damn.
He told him to his face. He said, hey, Mike, you're not right, man. You're not right at all. He told him straight to the face. And he was like, dude, you are not right, man. Like, you know, don't meet your heroes, man. You know, because
I tell y'all, ever since I met the people at the Comic-Con, ever since I met ASJ, I was like, it just, you know, don't meet your heroes. Any last words about the ASJ separating him from Jason Lawrence Geiger that you want the fans to know? Something like, hey guys, take away this, or, you know, any message you want to send to the fans.
Sure. Guys, it was a TV show. He wore a gold outfit. He wore a red outfit. It was cool entertainment. That's what it was. lots of stunt work, putting in time to do that. That's all that was. He did have muscles and was in shape in his heyday, but that disappeared very quickly. By Red Ranger Forever, he was not looking like that anymore. And you guys have to accept the fact that he is Jason Geiger. That's who he really is. He's not killing it in the gym. He's not training every day. He's not eating right. Okay. He's not. It doesn't work that way. And he's showing you that he's not. He might tell you, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, I'm doing this. I'm drinking my shakes. I'm making this happen. It's not happening. And if you have 1-2 eyes, you can look and see him. Just look at a workout regimen for all the stuff that he claims and the results that you get, and look at people that have those results that put in the work, and then compare them and just say, okay, this guy's doing everything he says he's doing, or something like it. And look at this guy. How's he look? And what does his diet and his routine look like? Okay, compare him to him. And there's your answer. It's that simple. You know, that's the thing about it, you know? And when you work out a lot and you do it right and diet, eat correctly, count your calories, you get good results. Looking at him, he is not counting the calories or getting the results. And it's obvious. So he just has to come honest with himself and just be like, look, guys, I'm not really in the gym like I need to be. And that's why I look the way I look. That's just the truth. Nobody's going to fault you for telling the truth about a situation, but he can't seem to tell the truth. You know, it's like he's one of those people that just, you know, is pathological lying. He can't get past that. You know, it's like, if I told you, you know, like, oh yeah, man, I'm killing the gym, but I look like I weighed, you know, good 350, you know, and could barely, you know, get out of my chair. Are you going to believe that I'm really killing it in the gym every single day? Like, you know, and if I tell you I'm doing gymnastics at a good 350 and I can't get out of my chair, there's your answer, you know? And by the way, I work out 7 days a week.
He like, hey, he living by example.
Yeah. I leave, like, before the MS came in, I was doing 4 to 5 times a day, 7 days a week.
God damn, Drew. Look, man, we
with
appreciate
martial art training in there.
We appreciate you coming on. Friday the 23rd is going to be a good show. I'm going to try to line it up with Brent. I'm going to reach out to him. I do have some ideas that I didn't tell you or Brent about, but
okay,
I'm going to try to make it fun. I saw the questions you proposed for Brent, and we're going to set that up. It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll probably bring you on at like 9 p.m. And then we'll go through like all your clips and everything, and we'll get Brent. Man. Hopefully Brent can sneak away from the office.
So. Oh, he better, man. He's hey, he's gonna need a trainer. Because your one buddy called into the show and said, hey, I want to box him. I saw that. And I was like,
man. Oh, Sean been wanting a piece of Brent for a while. I don't think Brent is into any charity boxing matches. But all right, Drew, thank you so much, man, for coming up and providing us with more wholesome content. I see Brent in the background, but I'll talk to him after.
Tell him this. Tell Brent this. I can't get another concussion because it'll kill me with the MS. You know, that's what caused the MS was I had several concussions from fight training and landing on my head and other things. But if I didn't have that,
holy shit, Brent, they want to fight you.
I'd be ready. I'd be ready.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you right now.
Brent is non-violent, man. I've seen Brent several times. He's not about any violence of any kind. So
then he needs to calm it down.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
One day, you know that saying, one day you'll run into somebody that you shouldn't have ran into and messed with.
Holy shit.
So he better calm it down because people getting heated over here.
Oh my goodness. All right, Drew.
I can take it. But other people can't.
All right, that's Drew, everybody. What a great stream this was.